Hello, hello. No intro video today. Welcome back to another episode of My Thoughts Live. For those of you who are new, my name is Joel Petgrave. I'm just, some random dude on the internet. Just have the crazy idea of sharing his crazy thoughts to the world. Who would have thought? Go like what could possibly go wrong? And so, I actually have a funny story. Before I start, um, the whole idea of this channel is seeing what my thoughts on different social issues, topics, popular topics, and presenting them to the internet, right? And so every day has its own kind of like sub theme. So I stream from Sunday to Friday. Um, every day, so all those days at 6:30, except for Friday. Friday is at 1 p.m. And so for some reason, I don't know why, I thought today was Thursday. So let me tell you what the theme is for each day first. Sunday is Social Issue Sunday, where as the name suggests, we talk about social issues. Monday is Money Matters Monday, where we talk about entrepreneurship, uh, side hustle gigs, the economy, that type of stuff. On Tuesday is Tabernacle Tuesday, where we talk about like church and religion and those sort of topics. On Wednesday, which is today, is supposed to be Wild Card Wednesday. Thursday, tomorrow, which the days I got mixed up, is supposed to be this or that Thursday. I forgot to Wildcard Wednesday. I think the name is self-explanatory. It's like a whatever topic day. But this or that Thursday is a day where we compare two competing ideologies or ideas and kind of compare the two. And Friday is Family Fridays, where we talk about religion, marriage, child raising. Did I say religion? I meant relationships, marriage, child raising, all that fun stuff. So, um, you know, I kind of like wanted to divide things 'cause that's kind of how my brain works. It divides them in these topics. And so for some reason, I thought today was this or that Thursday. So I was preparing like the thumbnail, the intro, because I haven't prepared all the intros for each video. So each day has its own like unique intro, and I was preparing for like this and that Thursday, and I just remembered, oh crap, today's Wednesday, and so I mean, technically, I could like because it's Wild Card Wednesday, I could do like a topic from another day today. So I should have just kept, you know, what I had planned for this or that Thursday, but hey, so I wasn't as prepared for this live stream, like with my notes and stuff. So if my brain seems more scrambled than usual, that's why. Um, so today, I want to talk about um you may have seen this photo, this guy, Stockton Rush. I believe it was back in June. And it's crazy. I feel like it was just yesterday. It was like all over the news, the Ocean Gate and the Titan sub catastrophe. I just want to start off by, saying my condolences to the families that did lose their loved ones in a very like I can imagine, not even knowing, be able to see their body. Oh shoot, what is this thing? Let me take it back to me. I don't know why that thing is hopping around. um yeah, I just want to give my condolences to the family. And yeah, but yeah, today is a deep topic, pun most definitely intended. And oh, we actually have somebody on the live. So like this is my third video for this channel, so it's relatively new. And usually I wonder it on Facebook. Can you say hi, whoever you are, if you don't mind, in the chat? Just to see, I like to see who's watching. If you want to, if you don't, that's fine. But this is a live stream channel. Everything is done live. There's not a whole lot of editing. Just some effects I might add in and pictures and stuff here and there. So it's always nice to see somebody that's actually watching live. I mean, I'm sure I'm grateful for those who are watching you later. Those of you who decide to watch it later as well. But um, again, the whole purpose of this is live, and it's also supposed to be an interactive channel. So in the future, I'm going to have a forum for people could submit their topics. I plan to have guests on and all that stuff. So yeah, it's supposed to be an interactive channel. So let's deep dive in the topic. And I didn't really have a thumbnail for this one. So the idea of this topic about this whole submarine thing is that Stockton Rush, that's the guy in this photo. I'm presenting the case that he was right even though he was wrong. So um just a quick recap for those of you who um you know not familiar, were living on a rock or something like that, of what was going on. Stockton Rush, or Ocean Gate, is a company that specializes in deep sea exploration. And so um yeah, it was a company that was taking people for the most part down to see the Titanic, right? And so I think it was in June, I think around June 18th. It was on a Sunday. Yeah, it was on a Sunday because it was like, I think, Father's Day or something like that. And it was also my brother's birthday and my brother's-in-law birthday as well. Um, but yeah, there was a submarine that takes people down to go see the Titanic. It's like an excursion, and it went missing. And so I don't think most people knew this company existed before this whole the whole ordeal started. I myself included. And I think that it was like, so as I was hearing it, I'm thinking that, oh, something must have went wrong. I didn't know the details about the whole everything that was going on. But as I learned more and more about, because like people were like just talking about it, like everywhere you go, people were talking about like the submarine, and there was like memes everywhere. I'll get to the memes in a second, but like, yeah, so they were lost. They lost connection with the mothership on Sunday, and apparently they had 96 hours of oxygen in the sub, and so everyone was like counting down to try to find them before the oxygen ran out. And I think was it Monday or Tuesday or maybe Wednesday. I don't know. I can't calculate 96 hours in my head right now, but um yeah, it was Monday. They found debris that provided evidence that everything kind of like exploded um on each other. And so it was yeah, it was sad that there was a lot of loss of life. There was a lot of buzz around it. There was a lot of media coverage, and kind of like the general consensus um was, as more information that came out, that this was like this excursion was kind of reckless. Because in my mind initially, I'm thinking, it's 2023, we got AI going, it's a lot of technology. I'm thinking that this is a very well sophisticated thing. Like, we've been like, I think we discovered the Titanic years ago. So, in my head, it made sense that, we have the technology to safely transport people. But as more information comes out, as this whole ordeal was going on, there's a lot of news coverage, kind of painting him, Stockton Rush, the CEO, and he was one of the persons that did pass away, as like this kind of like reckless thrill seeker, that type of thing, and who disregarded like rules and regulations, which he did. And I just want to like explain my understanding of what, because I was watching a lot of different people's opinions and experts of what actually happened, how did they actually explode, because there are submersibles, there are submarines that go down that depth, some of them are man, some of them are man, but he was using a new material. I mean, the material wasn't new, but it was new for that application. He was using a carbon fiber, and I'm no engineer, but from what I understood, the problem with using carbon fiber for that sort of application is, I think, two things. One is that the way how carbon fiber is made, you can't get the same level of uniformity in the material, because it's like a weave of material to make a carbon fiber structure. You can't get the same level of uniformity you can if you're using steel and or titanium, which is what was typically used for those sort of applications. And so under those pressures, because I think they were like 4,000 to go to Titanic, I think it was around 4,000 feet under the sea, where it's just massive water pressure. Any sort of like variation or fluctuation in the in fluctuation in thickness or strength in the material can cause creaks and cracks, and cause one pressure and eventually cause lead to a catastrophic explosion. The other issue that I think someone mentioned was that also, carbon fibers is a composite. So to make like a carbon fiber structure, I think it's carbon fiber plus like some sort of like solidifying glue or something like that. And on top of that, the whole thing wasn't made of carbon fiber. It was carbon fiber, and then they had to glue on I think the titanium hull, and then there was a little glass piece. So there's a lot of mixing of a lot of different materials, that if there's any, even the slightest of variation in tolerance, it could lead to stress and stuff like that. Um, so I think yeah, so that happened, and so he was kind of like in the media, scrutinized or being labeled as like kind of this crazy guy. I'll show you two videos, and then we're gonna come back to that. Hopefully the sound is working. Let me know if the sound is working or not. Uh, are y'all hearing the sound okay? Can somebody put like a one in the chat if oh, there's no one, everyone's on Facebook. If you heard that okay, because something's wrong with my headphones. For some reason I'm not hearing. I know the audio is playing because I see the little waveform thingy, but let me know if you caught that. And there's just one more clip I'm gonna play. Uh, all right, that's enough of that. So yeah, so he was kind of like a lot of the media coverage is like that, he was reckless, which he was, definitely. At the very least, I don't think he should have done more to, get that technology probably like properly certified, or did more testing, especially if you're taking people, like civilians down there with you. It's one thing if you want to, go risk your life, um, to do fun stuff, but it's another thing to just go out and bring involve other people with you. And so, obviously, the title of this video is why he was right and wrong. So that's why he was wrong. But what I want to like propose to y'all today is that in a way he's kind of right. Um, in regard, like in that clip that he was talking about, like sometimes you just got to throw safety out the window. Um, he's right to an extent, and and what I mean by that, he's what I would refer to as a necessary it's a trait that few people should have, but everyone doesn't need to have. And that's the need for I just want to talk about like exploration, because I think there's a lot of benefit to push boundaries. There's a lot of benefit for, and again, everyone doesn't need to participate in this, and there's certain ways how to do it. But I think overall, it's important that we kind of like try new things, we try innovations, and sometimes in in certain situations, he is right where like there's safety or there's too much sometimes we get too focused or too tied down to what we've been doing all along that we don't want to try anything new. And I guess one of the examples that I like to bring up is Lewis and Clark and the Louisiana Purchase. So yeah, so like this the blue section right here on the map is what you before the Louisiana. For those who don't know what the Louisiana Purchase, it was a purchase of this orange territory. I forgot the time period. But the blue period was what the United States was before the purchase, and that orange section is what was added to the United States after the purchase. So it opened up a whole lot of land that was like kind of like undeveloped on I mean um from a industrial perspective there was probably like natives living there, but from an industrial perspective it was kind of like rural area. And so there were these two famous explorers called Lewis and Clark that went to go exploring. And keep in mind, this was back, what was this, like maybe 1700s, 1800s, somewhere between then. So like you didn't have like a lot of the technology or most of the technology we have now. So this was territory that was like filled with like wild animals, bears, and all sorts of danger. And there was a lot of criticism at the time, saying that like why are they wasting time, wasting resources exploring this uncharted territory. um and people said the same thing about like the moon, going to the moon, or now people are talking about going to Mars. People are saying like, oh, that's a waste of resources. Why are you using, you could use that, to help people here on Earth. People are suffering here. Why do we need to, waste time? Or I heard one people was quoting that like, and another aspect of this whole situation was that a lot of people were, I forgot to talk about the memes. Like a lot of people were like kind of like, there was a level, I think, of insensitivity toward the catastrophe, being that it was mostly like rich people um, on on the submarine. And I think as a society we have a tendency to like be um, like dehumanize someone just like the super wealthy. We are not as sympathetic as we would be if someone was like more average or middle class, which kind of makes sense. But like they were just going crazy on the memes, like, and that's what actually, like, I saw the memes and I didn't know what was going on. I didn't hear about like the actual story. I was like, what is all these memes about, like the submarine? And like I heard some people putting memes about Celine Dion is coming out with her next track. And if I was more prepared, I would show you some of them. But like people were going crazy in the memes. And so people say the same thing, like with going with Mars. We have this like tendency to like belittle those things. But I think, oh wow, it's really storming outside. Oh shoot, do we have a hold on? Do we have a tornado warning? I don't want this house imploding on me. No, it just says showers. Okay, just showers. Okay, all right. Um, what was I saying? Yeah, we have this tendency to like, be dismissive of things that seem like wasteful and stuff like that. But there are so many technologies that came about due to like the space race and exploring the unknowns and venturing beyond like a certain level of safety and comfort. And while it needs to be done. Oh wow, it's really pouring out there. Like yo, I'm sorry. I'm trying not to get it doesn't say anything. It just says showers. That doesn't look like just showers. Like these trees look like they're bucket. Yo. All right, I'm gonna stay here, but if y'all see me bolt again, I think this is the second live stream where I had bad weather. If y'all see me bolt again, that's why. Um, but it's it's funny because I'm talking about safety right now, and it's like storming outside. All right, but what was I saying? Yeah, there's so many so one of the benefits from kind of like pushing boundaries is technological discoveries. There's so many technologies that we have today that we would like GPS and just cellular technology, satellite service, and so many other things that become available that open up so much doors because we went to space or because we did that, or even the Louisiana Purchase. Um, Manifest destiny, for those of you who are not familiar, is the concept of when United States was just on the East Coast, that we would go from coast to coast. That probably wouldn't have happened without that certain level of exploration and adventureship. So I think it opens up new doors for new technology and new opportunities. Another thing I think it does is it creates it allows us to understand our world better, because I think, especially when you think about things of the ocean, they said we know more about the surface of the moon than we do about our own ocean. And that, I don't know, some crazy stuff like 80 to 90% of the ocean floor is like unmapped and stuff like that. So there could be things out there in the great unknown, in these dangerous areas, that make us understand different things about our world. Hey, who knows, you may be able to find a cure for cancer or something like that out there. So I think the need to explore and kind of push boundaries is not in of itself a bad thing. I would say, however, like I said earlier, I think he was kind of wrong to include people in his expedition. Um or and I'm kind of like on the fence. Is he wrong to use the material? I think he's not wrong for trying new materials if there's a benefit for it, but I think he should have definitely done more testing. I think there was one coworker, the coworker that everyone said that got fired. He was suggesting to do this certain type of test, and he was saying, "Oh, um, they don't have the technology or the machine to run the test to make sure it's to test the I guess it was some sort of scanning system to test the structural integrity of the carbon fiber hull." And he said, "Oh, we don't have the machine for that." So there's a level of patience you need to have, and there's a level of um you like I'm saying, you can't just be crazy and just like, "Oh, safety, don't be safe at all." But there's kind of like a compromise. It's kind of like a balancing act. You have to kind of weigh, what can we what is the benefit of this exploration or this venture versus the safety. You're not throwing safety out the window. It's just that you're deprioritizing it. There's a difference between just played out not throwing something out the window and just not making a priority. I think in certain cases, um, you have to like deprioritize safety. Like, for example, entrepreneurship, right? I think is another good example of, or another analogy of this phenomena. As an entrepreneur, it's way less risky, or way more risky, sorry, to go be an entrepreneur than to go stay at a job where you have a consistent paycheck. a lot of people, I know entrepreneurship is all the rage and stuff like that, and I know it's not money market Mondays, but I think this analogy fits so beautiful because uh, entrepreneurship is all the rave and buzz nowadays. And in fact, people go as far to say how working a 9 to 5 is a scam or college is a scam. But what they don't say is like all the risk you involve. Like there's so many things that you risk. It's not just about you risk one, you could work as an entrepreneur for like hours, weeks, months, and not get any money for that's a risk, and that's in a way you're kind of disregarding safety in pursuit of your entrepreneurial dreams, right? I'm on this live right now. I could be at work at a job. I mean, it's after hours now, but I could be working at a job, but I'm taking a risk doing this live stream. So I'm not throwing safety or caution out the window. I'm just deprioritizing it because of a potential future gain, right? And so, and even just beyond the income, you have to think about, like, when you're an entrepreneur, like, you have to think about health insurance. Like, one of the first things you realize is like how many other expenses you have to pay out of your pocket that a job was paying for before. Like they were subsidizing your health insurance, they were giving you vacation pay, they were they were doing all these things to kind of create a safety net for you. And when you jump out in the world of entrepreneurship, you're you're kind of like deprioritizing those things. It's not those things aren't important. Health insurance is important. um Having being to feed your family is important, but you're deprioritizing safety in the hope of a future, future, like you're deprioritizing it in the hope to gain something more amazing, more better in the future. In the case of entrepreneurship, it's like the hope is that you would make more as an entrepreneur in the long run than if you were to consistently work at a job. And so I think in a sense, when it comes to exploration, um, yes, it's risky. Yes, it's dangerous. Yes, it may seem like a waste of money, but I think in the long run, I don't think we would be here where we were at in as a society if we weren't kind of like pushing boundaries and trying out new things. Um, so yeah, that's essentially my thoughts on the topic. What do you guys think? Do you think he was just like crazy? Were you following the stories? Just leave that in the chat. Like, what do you think? What is your take on the whole Ocean Gate situation? Like, would you go into submarine? I think that's another good question. Like, would you ever go into the submarine? Um, if if assume this accident didn't happen, because obviously I don't think anybody's going to submarine now. Like, would you actually go into the submarine or be interested in going to a submarine um that goes all the way down to the Titanic? um for me personally, like, if I'm being honest, like, I would definitely consider it. Like, again, this is assuming that this sort of the Ocean Gate thing didn't happen. um But my issue was with, let me pull up where's that picture I had? This one. Yeah, my issue is this with this picture, right? Like, this is like, when I thought, what my idea of a submarine like that's taking tourists as an excursion as a business is, like, I'm thinking this thing has like captain chair seats. I'm thinking it's like something from like Star Trek, but just underwater. That's the idea I had in my head. Like, there's no way I would probably go if it looks like this. But like, one day in the future, when technology catches up, if there's, where it's actually been tested. And first of all, if I'm like it would have to be going on for years before I try it as well. Um, but like, I'm definitely not going if it looks like this. Um, but if I'm all for just learning new things and taking risk, within reason. We're not throwing, like I said, caution to the wind. We're deprioritizing um caution. So yeah, that's kind of like my thoughts on the topic. So let me know what you guys think. Was this guy crazy? Did he deserve it, or was he just reckless, or does anything I'm saying make any sense? Um, yeah, I'd love to know your thoughts. But yeah, that's kind of it for me. If anyone had any questions in the comments, there's like I think one person still watching on Facebook. All right. If y'all have nothing else, I'm gonna make sure this storm is not like it just says showers on my phone, but like it looks like it's about to pour. But yo, anyway, let me know your thoughts. Please remember to like and subscribe. Tomorrow is this or that Thursday, where we will be going over we will comparing logic versus emotions, right? And seeing like, comparing them the two. And on Friday is Family Friday. We will be talking about the case for monogamy. So if any of those topics interest you, feel free to subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, and I will catch you on the flip.